Welcome back to another episode of Durarara Season 2 10. So in the previous episode, we had one huge thing happen. Well, there were a few things happening. So first of all, we were kind of making connections between the special episode and the previous episode with all the phone calls that Shinra was getting from Namie, from basically everyone around the town. He was very popular, which he did not like. But yeah, we saw Namie and what she was up to. We found out, well, she was basically hiding for the past 6 months, especially from Seiji, and then she finally made contact with him in an unexpected way because she contacted Mika and was like, hey, we need to talk, come out here. And Mika was like, bet. So they met in like this abandoned, or not even really abandoned, but empty warehouse looking thing, and they had a bit of a brawl, a bit of a beatdown, but Mika ended up kind of just revealing to us, to her, to everyone that she knows everything happening in the city, which was a surprise, but also it makes so much sense for her character, right? The second you think about it a tiny bit, it makes so much sense for the character. So yeah, I really like the way that was done, right? Because it was one of those reveals that you're like, oh wait, and then like, oh wait, yeah, of course she does, of course she would. She is crazy like that, so of course that makes sense. But yeah, but she was basically wiretapping the entire, like, everyone and just listening in, and she knows arguably more than, or just as much as Izaya, right? It seems like, which is really interesting. Yeah, the difference is that the reason why she knows that information is to protect Seiji. So from what we know, she hasn't really used that information for anything bad or to manipulate anyone or anything like that. She just used it here to protect Seiji, basically, and also to kind of like scare Namie, but that's like, you know, that's self-defense, that's fine. Yeah, but apart from that, Namie was also, like, obviously as weird as always. Like, I feel like as long as she's not around Seiji and not thinking too much about Seiji, she's a cool character, but the second Seiji gets involved, you're like, oh my god. So yeah, Seiji kind of like kissed her with like his fingers there, because he wanted to make a point, but little does he know that he did not make a point. Actually, he made it even worse. But apart from that, what else was there? Oh yeah, that was also an interesting, I saw a comment basically talking about how the reason why Mika was acting a bit differently is because she knew all of those things, and when you trace them back, the reason why she would be like, have that kind of reaction to Verona is because of the things that she knew about Verona and stuff like that. Makes sense, right? Makes more sense, right? I wonder how that's gonna actually play into the story. Like, as long as she knows that information, yes, she's a ticking time bomb because she can basically change the tide so fast, but also she can also just not do anything, right? So it's gonna depend a lot on what she's gonna decide to do. I feel like as long as Seiji is safe, she's not gonna do much, but we'll find out. Anyways, let's just go. Oh, if you wanna watch this, Uncut Blood is always on my Patreon down in the description, and let's go into Durarara Season 2, 10, Episode 3. Oh yeah, 6 years ago!
自分でも己の力を信じていた。実際、男は腕っぷしだけで世の中の裏側を渡り歩いてきた。
It's one of them Yakuza, right?
6年前、男に転機が訪れた。
Whoa!
男の人生を変えた。サイ
Saika?
カという化け物との出会いが。
Marriages are made in heaven? Wait, let me get my notes.
持ってるんでしょ、あれ。お金ちゃんと買ってきたからさ、ね。
安心しなよ、ちゃんとあるから。ただね、あれ今大人気でさ、手に入れるのも大変になってんのよ。わかるでしょ？だからさ、お値段は据え置きなんだけど、今日はこれだけってことで。
それ、いつもの半分しか。じゃあいつもの倍お金出せば、いつもと同じだけ売ってくれんの？どうすんの？そんなお金ないよ。
大丈夫、大丈夫。いいバイト紹介してあげるから。見張り立てたんじゃないのかよ。そのはずだよな。
ねえ、早くちょうだいよ、それ。
うるせえ、黙ってろ。おい、誰だ？んだ、おっさん。このトイレは掃除中だからよ。とっとと出てけや。おやおや、おじゃもうお掃除に協力してたんだけどね。何言ってんだ、おっさん。いやー、入り口にいた兄ちゃんたちがこの袋に汚いもん入れて てたからさ。汚物はトイレに流さないとダメだろ。
Hell yeah!
それを、
Damn, he flew.
いけないね。女の子はもっと優しく扱わなきゃ。
He's so cool. Ooh! Oh!
そうか。こいつ。
Akabayashi. Yeah, that's it.
すいません。おいおい、兄ちゃん。トイレで土下座なんてするもんじゃねえよ。アワクス会の方とは知らず、本当にすいません。このお店はさ、うちの会社と業務提携してるわけね。でさ、月並みなこと言うけどさ、誰に断ってあんなもの配ってるのかな。おいちゃんに言ってごらん。ここがアワクス会の島だなんて知らなかったんです。本当に。いや、参ったな。知らないのかい。日本じゃねえ、この手のお薬は法律で禁じられてんだよ。
Yeah?
特においちゃんがケツ持ちしてる店じゃねえ。ローカルルールでもなしなんだわ、こういうの。すいません、すいません。謝って済むほどぬるい集まりだと思っちゃいねえよね。おいちゃんたちのことを。じゃあ、選ぼうか。どっちにする？アワクス会から警察の旦那方への手土産になるのと、このまま両腕へし折られるのと。
Whoa! Whoa!
すいません。勘弁してください。入れ墨入れる根性あるやつがそんな情けない真似しちゃいけねえよ。おりさんに失礼だろ。これシールなんす。俺らそんなんじゃないっす。誘われて小遣い稼ぎのつもりだったんす。俺はただ上から言われただけで。言ったね。上がいるんならそれを詳しく聞く必要ができちゃったよ。ご苦労様です。じゃあこのお兄ちゃんさらっちゃって、あとは風本君に任せちゃおう。いや、おじゃん交渉とか拷問は苦手だから。
Negotiating and torture are my thing. So the eye is where Saika got him, right?
男は薬の存在を心底見組んでいた。こいつさえなければ男は何度思ったことだろう。
赤林さん、若頭が帰りに事務所に顔出してほしいそうです。娘がお前に話があるそうだ。明日にでもうちに顔出してくんねえか。
俺に何ですかね。
こっちが聞きてえよ。
赤林のおじさん。
おお、お嬢、大きくなったな。
だって2年ぶりだもん、おじさんと会うの。
で、おいちゃんになんか用があるんだって。なんだろう、おいちゃんにできることかな。
お部屋行こう。
I love Akabayashi. He's great.
この相談はお父さんにもお母さんにも内緒にしてほしいの。
はいはい、わかってるよ。
She's gonna say something big.
どうすれば殺し合いに強くなれますか？
Oh. What?
何の話だったんだ？茜のやつ、お前にまた後でねとか言ってたが。
いやー、大した話じゃありやせんや。この間のことで思うところがあったんじゃないですかい。体を鍛えたいって言うんでね、知り合いの道場っつうかジムっつうかが子供にも護身術を教えてるんで、午後にそこを紹介してやるってだけですよ。
信用ができるんだろうな、そこは。
ああ、もちろん。
はいほら。
昨日の夜中、お前、売人のガキどもを閉め
I'm
た。
trying to see where the timeline is right now. Where
風本に任せやして。
we currently are.
あいつら、ただの大学生のサークル。
Is this the full present?
サークル活動ですか。
College club.
てっきりどこかの組がバックについてるんだと思ってたが、連中、ライラ大学の学生でな。全員首にシール貼り付けてたろ。同じ柄のタトゥーのよ。ヘブンスレイブとかいうサークルの印らしい。奴ら、売人より上は携帯だけで繋がってやがる。定期的に番号が変わるらしいから、多分
Okay.
飛ばし携帯だな。 風本が業者に番号を紹介すると言ってたが、中心メンバーまでたどれるか。
Let me write down Kazamoto as well, because I don't think I have him written down. Let me check. Oh, I do. So yeah, the question is, because obviously earlier we saw the flashback 6 years ago, but that was when he got first cut by Saika. So I'm guessing I didn't see if it's set back to the present or something. Because I'm trying to think what exactly is Akane also thinking about and stuff, right?
普通のガキがネットだのなんだの使ってこっち側の仕事に手を出してくるんだからよ。全くです。
Dollars?
そういや、お前ダラーズって知ってるか？なんですそれ。いや、そのダラーズとかいうのに感化されて作ったそうだ。ネット上のいけない薬屋さんをな。どう落とし前をつけようと。
道元。
スカイは干渉しないことを約束しましょう。ただし、そちらもうちの組への手出しは一切無用。奴以外の人間を巻き込んだときは、それなりの覚悟をしていただくことになる。やはり例の件ですか、親父。あの残党どもがまだ奴を狙ってたとは、驚きですね。この間、出所してきた連中が集まって、自分たちの組を新しく立ち上げたらしい。これねえ連中だ。まあ、それも仕方あるね。奴ら、まだ疑ってんだろう。てめえのところの親をばらしたのが赤林じゃねえかってな。
Wait, I'm gonna replay this entire scene because I feel like I want to see this again. Wait, let me see this again.
そちらもうちの組の奴にどう落とし前をつけようと、アークス会は干渉しないことを約束しましょう。ただし、そちらもうちの組への手出しは一切無用。奴以外の人間を巻き込んだときは、それなりの覚悟をしていただく。
Anyone but him.
やはり例の件ですか、親父。あの残党どもがまだ奴を狙ってたとは、驚きですね。この間、出所してきた連中が集まって、自分たちの組を新しく立ち上げたらしい。この間、出所してきた連
The ones who got out of prison assembled the other day.
中が
What are you even talking about?
自分たち
And
の
apparently some of their gang knew?
これねえ連中だ。まあ、それも仕方あるね。奴ら、まだ疑ってんだろう。てめえのところの親をばらしたのが赤林じゃねえかってな。
Is he talking about Heaven Slave or is this unrelated now?
普段と変わらぬ夜になるはずだった。借金絡みで無謀にも組織に因縁をつけているらしい。
There was a shopkeeper reckless enough to pick a fight with the organization over his debt. Because when he said got out of the prison, my instant thought would be Izumi, but we had zero clues so far that Izumi got out of prison yet. Okay, interesting. There was a shopkeeper reckless enough to pick a fight with the organization over his debt.
ある店の主がいる。強盗の仕業に見せかけ、その主を適当に痛めつける。男にとっては普段と変わらぬ仕事のはずだった。
Saika.
俺を消しに来た鉄砲玉か。本当思っただけで弾取れると思ってんなら高くつくぜ。
It's the mom, isn't it? Sonohara's mom.
てめえは一体何なんだよ。5年も経ってるのにまだ売れねえのか、やっぱり。
Okay, yes. So this isn't the full present.
おお、アンリちゃんかい。大きくなったね。2年ぶりぐらいか。
お久しぶりです。どうして
Whew.
いやいや、たまたま通りかかって。
These flashbacks are kicking my ass because I'm trying to figure out when anything is happening. Like, we're going back forward, and I'm trying to figure out where everything is happening right now.
あの頃は本当にお世話
It said 6 years ago, and now he said this is 5 years ago, so this is 1 year ago.
本当に気にしなくていいって。おかみさん、アンリちゃんのお母さんにはいろいろと世話
話になったからね。
でもあの頃赤林さんが助けてくださらなかったら私どうなっていたか。
あのさ、アンリちゃんに学校の流行りとかで一つ聞きたいんだけどさ。
はい。私もそんなに流行りに詳しいわけじゃないですけど。
いや、わかる範囲でいいんだけどね。その、ダラーズって知ってるかい？何か知ってるのかい？
いえ、ただ友達がそんな話をしているのを聞いたことがあるだけです。よくは知りません。
そうかい。なんだか危ない連中らしいからさ、近づいちゃダメだよ。なんか困ったことがあったらいつでもお茶に。
園原じゃないか。
矢切くん。
あれ、ミカのやつとの用事もう終わったのか。
It is the present.
それじゃあ、お茶。
Oh, my brain. Oh, okay, but wait. Earlier it said 6 years ago, and then it showed that scene, and then he said it's been 5 years already. So I'm guessing it's been like approximately 6 years, and he's like, oh, it's been approximately 5 years. Okay, whatever. But or maybe he's not actually talking about that the exact day. Either way. Okay, so this is the present. Oh my god, my brain is being cooked. So they didn't know, like, the dollars was not really publicly known in the Yakuza, or wasn't talked about in the Yakuza up until this date, because even now they were like, oh, have you heard about the dollars? Even though the dollars have been pretty active in Ikebukuro for like the past year or so, right? But they haven't really been much, like, spoken about much in the Yakuza Kane or whatever they call it, right? In the Yakuza. Interesting. Okay, God, this is cooking my brain right now. I'm trying to figure out all of the timelines when everything is happening and stuff. Okay, so now we know. This is the present. This is when Seiji in the previous episode found Sonohara when Mika was like, hey, I need to go and talk to Sonohara and stuff. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, okay. I think I am now following this. So the entire Akane situation was also in the present. Okay. God. This is
はい。ありがとうございました。
rough. What? Ooh, oh.
そんな風にこの子から逃れた人は初めて。サイかったら驚いて奥に引っ込んじゃったみたい。振られたようでショックだったのかしら。よかった。止めてくれる人なんていないと思ってたけど。あなたが私を終わらせてくれるの？
すまねえけど、あんたが何を言ってるのか俺にはさっぱりわからねえ。ただ、あんたに言いたいことがあったからよ。うるさい音黙らせた。ただそれだけだよ。生まれて初めて女ってやつが綺麗だと思った。抱きしめてえと思った。惚れた。
What?
ありがとう。こんなになっちゃった私を好きになってくれるなんて。ごめんなさい。私もう結婚してるの。私は夫や娘を愛してる。あなたの気持ちには応えられないわ。
Sayaka.
こりゃ運命かね。あんた自分の旦那を助けたぜ。いや、
Yeah, because he was gonna go to the shop, right? To the antique shop. Sayaka is the mother's name, okay.
奔放にやりすぎたな、おめえ。
何のことだ。
5年前の亡霊がおめえをぶち殺しに来るとよ。
まったくダラースってのは便利だよな。いやさがわからねえと思ったら、こんなとこでホームレス生活だな。
マジであのおっさんを砂にして埋めるだけで20万かよ。
Heaven
それ
Slave.
だけじゃねえ。物も優先的に回してもらえるって話だ。でもあいつ超強えって話じゃん。心配ねえって、こいつがあるからよ。
よくのこのこ面出せたもんだな、赤林よ。
何、昔世話になった先輩方の呼び出しだ。来ないわけにはいかねえでしょ。
ヘラヘラしやがって。昔はそうじゃなかったな。あん時は猫かぶってやがったのか。
まあ、いろいろありましてね。ところで、差しで話し合いたいってことだったけど、他にもどこかで見たような顔が勢ぞろいしちゃってるのは気のせいか？
ああ、話すのは俺一人さ。それ以外のやつが何をするかは保証できねえからな。
ところで、ビルの周りに車が一台もなかったが、あんたら歩いてきたのかい？
おめえがビビんじゃねえかって思ってな。離れたところに置いてきた。
そいつはご親切に。ああ、いやね、車がたくさんあるとあいつらビビって逃げ出しちゃうかもしれないからね。
あいつら。
俺もあんたらと同じ考えでね、話し合うのは差しでも、殺し合いは差しで来るほどヒーロー気取りじゃないってことです。
ふかしてんじゃねえぞ。淡くスカイとはなしついてんだよ。
誰も淡くスカイとは言ってないでしょ。
おめえ、やっぱり他の組織とも通じて。おい、外見てみろ。うっす。
Damn.
外で何人もいやがる。くそ。
やめちゃがだ。やろっちゃがってきやがるな。ぶっ殺せ。おい。
噛みやがった。親父をやったのはやっぱりてめえか。
Okay. Okay. So those are the people that Akusu was talking about.
俺は組長。
And he was the one who set it up.
ただ、
Okay.
よう、赤林。もうその原堂のことは心配することはねえぞ。
はい。
よう、赤林。
Okay. 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 It's all coming together. Okay. I'm piecing it all together now. Okay. This was done in such a confusing way, but now, okay, it's coming together. Okay. This is why he said it was 5 years already. I see.
何もしなくてもあの土地は俺らのもんになるってわけだ。まったく、切り裂きは様々だぜ。もっとも、どっちにしろあの家はおしまいだったがな。あの店主によ、ちょいと薬の味を覚えさせてやったのよ。
組長は自慢げに語った。店主、つまりアンリの父に借金返済のために保険金殺人をそそのかしたこと、おかしくなった店主は自分の娘に手をかけようとしたことなど。
ね、バカだろ。てめえで殺しちゃ保険金なんか降りるはずねえだろ。それでよ、その娘ってのが割といい女になりそう。
Bro, that's such a horrible thing to say. Oh.
そのガキでまた人稼ぎできそうなんだ。
Oh my god.
その前に俺が味見するっての。
Oh my god.
なんだてめえ、どこの組の問題？
お前が兄貴を。お前が兄貴に薬を。
ああ、なんだお前、こないだの女の弟か。
お前のせいで兄貴は。
最後に薬でたっぷりと天国見られたんだから感謝してほしいぐらいだぜ。
もう二度と起き上がれないって。
赤林、仕事だぞ。おい赤林、赤林。てめえ、なんだその。
Nice. Good job. Good fucking job.
けよ。お前が捕まったら誰が姉貴の面倒見んだ。運が良ければ切り裂き魔の幸せ
What a
に
guy!
なるだろうよ。
What a Giga Chad!
早く行け。
Okay, I'm gonna wait. There's 3 minutes left. I was gonna pause and talk about it, but I'm gonna wait. There's a lot of things happening. Okay. Oh, that was kind of satisfying the way that they
心の中でつぶやいた。
did this entire thing
礼なんか言うん
episode.
じゃない。俺を恨め。自分を人殺しにした俺を恨めと。
Oh.
分かってたんですかい、こうなるのが。まあ五分五分ってとこだ。どうやら赤林におせっかいしたやつもいるようだしな。誰かがあいつに狙われてるってことを教えたんじゃねえのかな。でなきゃあそこまで手の込んだ仕掛けはできやしねえだろう。
You don't want to try that.
ほらほら、子供なら子供らしく、こんな物騒なおもちゃで遊ばないで、うちでゲームでもしてなさい。
What a guy.
本当に最近の子供は昼と夜の区別もつかないのかね。できることならアンリ嬢ちゃんや茜お嬢がおかしなごたごたに巻き込まれないように昼と夜の境目くらいはっきりさせてほしいもんだが、まあ嬢ちゃんたちが夜が好きっていうならおいちゃんたちに止める資格なんてないんだけどさ。
That's it? That's it. Okay. Okay. Okay, there's a lot of things about this episode. First of all, this was a very satisfying episode to watch. Like I was so worried at the beginning that I was like missing everything that was happening, but it was kind of like playing in reverse, like how Durarara does. Like it just gives you so much information, so many blank statements and blank information that you're like, what do you mean by that? And then it just slowly but surely adds context to those things, right? As the episode goes along. I was worried at the beginning that I was like missing stuff, that I'm forgetting stuff that I should know already. Hopefully it wasn't too frustrating for you guys, because I was so confused throughout most of the episode. But then it clicked, right? Everything clicked into place, right? When he said 5 years ago, it was because he was referring not to this event where Saika cut him. He was referring to the event of the boss dying and the couple dying and stuff like that, right? Sonohara's parents dying. That makes sense. So that was in the present and stuff like that. It was jumping around the timelines so much that it got me a bit confused, but yeah. So there were basically 3 timelines that it was showing. One of them was 6 years ago, one of them was 5 years ago, and one of them was present. Okay. So Akane is in the present, trying to learn some self-defense, which is makes sense because she got kidnapped like multiple times during a 24-hour time frame. So or it wasn't 24 hours, it was a few days. So she's gonna try to learn some self-defense, fair enough, if that is actually the thing that she wants to do, right? She said, how do I win a fight to the death or something like that, right? So yeah, that's cool. The other thing is we found out a little bit about Sonohara's dad. I mean, that's not much of a redemption for him at all, right? I mean, he got hooked onto the drug. Like, obviously, someone took advantage of his debt and stuff like that in his situation to hook him on the drugs. And then he was like, you know what would be how you could pay off this debt? It's to kill your family and get insurance money. That would be a great thing to do. So, yeah, fuck that. Still, that's, yeah, not, nah. It does not redeem him in the slightest, right? It's a shitty situation, and it's not his, like, it's not only his fault, but it still is his fault as well, right? Yeah. Anyways, apart from that, the mom seems to be kind of suffering under Saika, right? She seems to definitely not be doing great. We know that the mom is kind of like, she was always kind of, it seemed like she was always a victim. Now, I don't know too much about it, but from the little bit that we saw, she seems like she was the victim. She was the victim of Saika, the victim of the father, right? Just trying to protect her daughter as much as she can. Yeah, poor thing. And yeah, apart from that, it was a cool episode. Akabayashi is the Giga Chad, man. I love that guy. Also, I don't know if I missed something, but do we know who those guys were who got out of prison? Oh, yeah, we know. It's the lackeys of the boss. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know who exactly that boss is, like who that boss was of, but I'm guessing it's that group there. Wait. Okay, I'm putting everything kind of together. I don't think that group is Heaven Slave, but I do think it's just another drug ring, basically, right, in the city. And then when the boss died, his underlings went to prison, and now they got released here, and Akabayashi here made sure to handle them, in a sense, and basically manipulated, or kind of like made a plan to get Heaven's Slave to get there, and to think, oh, he's there, let's shoot him in the building. But they ended up having a shootout between the old drug ring and the new drug ring, being the Heaven Slave, right? So I'm guessing Heaven Slave is gonna be more relevant as time goes on. My initial thought was, like, considering how, like, it's burner phones and stuff like that, like, the leader of Heaven Slave is probably gonna be one of the people that we know, considering that this is Durarara. My guess, I was gonna say Mikado, because that seems like a kind of like a cool thing, that Mikado made the blue squares into Heaven Slave, but I don't think Mikado would go in that direction at all. I don't think that would make any sense for his character. Same with like Kida or anything like that. Unless it would be like Aoba doing it and kind of using Mikado's influence for it without Mikado even knowing. That could be the case, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Interesting though. Really, really interesting. It could be also just not related to any of the old characters. We'll find out though. Cool episode though. Really cool. Really satisfying seeing all the blanks being filled the more you watch, right? So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.